We often ate meals together, just the 12 of us with Jesus. Those times were special. There were no crowds, no one to distract us. We were able to just sit and be with Jesus, to recline next to him and soak in every bit of wisdom he had to give. Most of our suppers with him were full of laughter and joy. This night was different. It began with a ridiculous argument between the 12 of us, asking Jesus who of us would be the greatest. Jesus, being the patient man that he is, told us simply that the greatest would be the one who serves. He was the prime example of that, was he not? For Jesus was in fact the greatest of all, yet he came to serve us. We all stooped our heads low in embarrassment and let the argument go. Though I would love to tell you the night was pleasant from there on, that we had a wonderful dinner and laid our heads down in peace, that's not how this story goes. I cannot explain to you the heartbreak that we all felt when Jesus announced that one of us, his friends, would betray him. How could that be? Who would dare betray their own friend? We all questioned, is it me? Is it me? Desperately hoping it was not. As everyone else talked among themselves, I leaned over to Jesus and asked quietly, "Who is it that will betray you, Rabbi?" His answer was simple, "The one who dips his bread in after mine." And that's when I saw it. A hand reached across the table and dipped into the bowl. The hand belonged to Judas Iscariot, Jesus' secret betrayer. Judas? The one who had been with us for so long, who had witnessed the miracles Jesus had done? It was he who would betray Jesus? I watched as he walked out, making no announcement as to where he was going, and no one else questioned his absence. Soon after Judas left, Jesus carried on with our dinner. He lifted up the bread towards heaven and gave thanks, saying, "Take and eat, for this is my body that is given for you." So we took the bread and did as instructed, not realizing how powerful the moment that we were experiencing truly was. Then after, he raised the cup and gave thanks, saying, "This is my blood that is poured out for many as a sacrifice for the forgiveness of sins. Do this in remembrance of me." We knew this moment was no ordinary supper with our Lord. Of course, I guess nothing was ordinary with him. Yet, there was one thing we didn't know. That supper would be the last meal we had with him before he died. Jesus asked Peter, James, and I to follow him to a garden in Gethsemane, where we would keep watch as he went to pray. I had never seen Jesus like he was that night. His face was full of sorrow. His hands were shaking, sweat rolling down his forehead like drops of blood. He was tormented by his own thoughts. He walked through the garden and eventually fell to the ground, saying, "Father, if it is possible, please take this cup from me." Jesus knew the gruesome death he had to die, in order to save those he loved, and he was scared. He begged his Father to take it away from him so that he wouldn't have to suffer nor carry the weight of this burden any longer. Yet, at the end of his prayer, he took in a deep breath and said, "Not my will, but yours be done."